gentlemen, welcome to the AwesomeCast number 97, live here in Pittsburgh, PA. I'm Mike Sorg. That's who I am. No, that's Chachi. That's who I am. Hi.
Hey,
How
I'm
you
not
guys
you.
doing?
You're not me.
With me, as usual, is Rob De La Creta. How you doing tonight?
Hi.
This is going to be the low-key version of the show.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm good.
It's better than the pre-show version.
Sure. The pre-show is very musical. Were you recording any of that?
I was recording a bit of it.
All right, that's good.
Maybe we'll put that on after.
Yeah, I'm good. I tore down Teenie Harris this week.
Yeah?
That thing came down.
Taking it down?
Taking it down. You know, with creative installations and stuff, it's kind of funny and kind of sad and depressing at the same time. Because, you know, it takes, like, years to plan and months to facilitate and weeks to put together, and then the whole thing goes from fully built to looking like it never happened in all of 2 hours. Yeah.
And you just ask why.
And you just ask why, and then you rinse, repeat, and do it all over again, which is why I'm here.
And that's why you get paid, and that's why you have a job.
Yeah, well,
you know.
It's the man. The man keeping me down and up and then down again.
And then also over on the couch is Chachi of Insert to Begin to what?
I'm reading my book.
InsertToBegin.com.
Oh, shut up, Rob.
What book are you reading there for the audio listeners?
Monster Haiku.
Oh.
I'm on my favorite page.
Which page is that?
Banana Sheriff.
Banana Sheriff, or what does it say?
It says, "Evening there, Sheriff. You know how this has to go. Time for you to split." Get it? He's a banana. And you can't see it. You gotta bring the page back.
You're really mellow. I don't know if it's because of the haikus or it's because of the Zen garden that you've been...
The sheriff is a sundae. Or not the sheriff, the bad guy. He's a little sundae. With a cherry on top.
Tell us about this Zen garden you got going on here.
So I have a bonsai tree, and I got a Zen garden to go with it. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I did was put a stormtrooper in my Zen garden, because when I picture stormtroopers, I picture them searching the desert looking for droids. And I figured this is kind of like their punishment. They fail to find the droids, so they end up in a Zen garden guarding a bonsai tree from Ewoks. Because everyone knows those damn Ewoks will take over a tree like that.
Wow.
What? It's true.
Your thoughts on that? DJ Sauce and the Voxable Rutherford of the Wrestling Mayhem Show and MonsterHaiku.org.
Wow, Justin TV can kiss my A.
What?
So Justin TV.
We're having some issues tonight.
No, it just tried to redirect me to Reddit.
What?
It said, "Hey, now, don't do that. Go play here instead."
Anyways,
I think you've been hacked, Chachi.
It's not my computer.
Chachi.
Is it because you're running Linux over there?
You're running Linux.
I am running Linux over there. It's not going
over there, over here.
It's not going well. LB, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? Yes, I am Will Rutherford of MonsterHaiku.org, and I'm also DJ Lunchbox of the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Yes, he is. Now you're just. I just received my book yesterday, as Chachi is reading his copy over there, which is not in the shot.
Yes.
He's
not in. He doesn't care.
He's in depth. Oh, there it is. There it is.
It's engrossing. It's an engrossing product. Yeah.
Excellent.
It'll suck you in. There's a lot of layers, like an onion, make you cry like an onion.
But with
maybe
words.
Like a parfait.
But with words, like a parfait. Yeah.
Well, we all got our copies, and I got to say, I got to give a lot of credit to the packaging, the opening it up, and there was the "Here Be Monsters" label that was around the wrapping. Was fun.
The belly band. Yeah, we had a belly band on it. All credit for that goes to Josh and Rachel Sager. They came up with those ideas and worked on the packaging and everything like that.
And pins. You got pins.
You did, in fact, get pins. I don't think I have any of mine with me right now. The magnets.
Now, this isn't the end for you guys for the Monster Haiku. You got something coming up this weekend.
That's correct. On April 13th, that's this Friday, in beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in Lawrenceville, there we have a show at Wildcard. It's kind of a gallery show. Rachel's going to be selling a lot of her art. There's haiku coupled with it that I have written, and we're also selling books. But the books, my friends, are in such limited supply. There is just a few. So many of them have been spoken for already. It's a first come, first serve basis. So get there early and get there often, and bring a lot of money, because it's all for good cause. Yes. Everything goes to the March Dimes.
I have 119 of 133.
Nice.
So, even though I was one of the first people to order, I don't understand how that worked.
Yeah, my mom was upset about that too, because she wanted book number 48, but we didn't take that into account.
I got 11.
So, get 11.
What the hell?
I got number 11.
Seriously, I was one of the first people to order.
Mm-hmm. So was I.
The link went live at 5 o'clock. I ordered at 7 o'clock.
Your last name also starts with a W. I don't know if that
What's that?
Your last name also starts with a W. I don't know if that matters.
I have a problem with that.
Yes, saying.
You guys should probably trade.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I like my 11.
Nope.
I like my 11.
Sork's a dick.
I like my 11.
Could be Anthony Sorg and Michael Walker.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Anyways, you stumbled on this mess. Tonight is the AwesomeCast. We're here live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on live.sorgatronmedia.com. Although if you're having trouble with that in the chat room, like some of us are tonight, something's going on with Justin TV, just click the link right through the Justin TV and you should end up in the same chat room. We're also testing out. There was some people here before, but we have opened up the Google Hangout during the show. I don't know if we're going to do anything with this, but we're going to be experimenting more first on the Wrestling Mayhem show. Maybe we'll bring that over to AwesomeCast and open up some discussion. It's just another way for you guys to participate in the show or check out the show or view the show in a different way. And you get to get your face above Rob over here. And there you go. You have to be circled by us, though, because we've played with the Hangouts before, and we know if you leave them open, you get naughty things in your Hangout. And we don't need to...
Vaginas.
Yeah, we saw some interesting things when we were doing the Monday night Hangouts during Raw. So we're not going to do that. First
Acast. I like when you guys call it Acast. I think you should call it that from now on.
Just to call it the Acast?
That should be the official title, because it makes people wonder, what does it A stand for?
It's just another cast. Another cast?
Acast. It's Acast.
Let's get as generic as possible. That's going to be that'll completely help us. People find us.
Acast. And then we can start a whole network. Bcast, Ccast.
There you go. And you cancel
like
one.
That Sue Grafton lady in her books.
The what?
That Sue Grafton lady in her books. Dial M for murder. Dial D for dog face.
Wow.
She's on like S now. Hey, I didn't make this up.
That's one way to do it. Well, let's get right to it. Well, first, we had a little bit of feedback this week. If you recall, we had a call out to you guys to give us an email to let us know that you were alive out there. We did get an email. AJ, good friend of the show, sent me an email entitled #AC96 Hi.
Wow.
So there you go. There's somebody alive out there. But other than that. But if you guys want to contact us, we're at contact@awesomecast.com, or Twitter is @awesomecast. We're on Google+, we're on Facebook and all that stuff.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
You are now talking to the proud owner of inserttobegin.com.
Well, I'm glad somebody grabbed it.
I'm surprised that's not a thing already.
You mean you're surprised it's not a porn site?
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Vaginas.
Because I'm pretty sure someone would have bought that already and turned it into a porn site.
Exactly. So, now I've got apparently I'm going to start a porn site. I guess I'll see how that goes.
And it's already got, like, I can already, wait, did you set this up already? Because it's already got, like, a CGI bit on it.
Yeah, I already did that.
Wow. Wow. That was quick. We'll see where that goes.
The internet.
Thank you, internet. Well, let's get right into it. The big story this week, Instagram again.
Yep.
Yay. The
$1
venomous
billion.
another reason for the venomous hate of filtered images to continue. Rob, what the hell is going on here?
All right, so the big thing about this story really is that so pretty much all of the features that Facebook has come out with, for the most part, give and take, have been acquisitions. They haven't been like developed in-house. They've been acquired and then sort of worked into the platform. And there have been plenty of acquisitions that haven't really gone anywhere. It's just so much as things become like really close to Facebook's business model. So what better way to keep 5 people from annoying you than giving them lots of money and then telling them what to do? But with Instagram, it was a little different because it was 1 billion with a B. Everybody's saying it's $1 billion in cash, which is false, which also has a big deal to do with why it's $1 billion. This is one of the first acquisitions they had in which they could use money and stock. So it's largely stock, which means it's pretend money.
Okay.
Because there's contractual things to keep it from becoming like legitimate cash immediately. So it was $1 billion in cash and stock, and now Facebook, pending union approval, I believe, is owner of Instagram. And people are leaving in relatively small, annoying numbers.
Yeah, okay, so first of all, the first things I hear is, great, now we're going to have filters all over Facebook, which you already do because it's integrated. But I guess the big thing is all of the people that already left Facebook because they're concerned about what Facebook does with their privacy. Chachi's already, what the helling.
Chachi's bored with this conversation.
No.
It's those people.
It added to the whole hipster thing of Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Like, iPhone people got even more pissed off when this happened.
Okay.
Because first it was Android users that were screwing up their Instagram.
Unclean Android users.
And now it's Facebook.
Well,
Filthy Facebook heathens. My mother can use Instagram.
Two different evils at play here. So Android users are screwing up the Instagram because Android users are Android users. Which doesn't really amount to anything. You realize that when I say that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
I don't hold it against you anymore.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, no.
Facebook ruining the Instagram and a lot of people leaving is a lot of people saying like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to use Facebook because they steal my information, but now Facebook owns Instagram, so I'm going to assume that all the information collected by Instagram and all of the photos is now property of Facebook, which it technically may possibly will be, depending on the terms of service changes at Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm angry and I hate everything, and I'm going to go back under my rock.
They're concerned that all those photos they took, you know, with Instagram, trusting Instagram.
What's that filter called?
What's that? Using the lo-fi filter. Sepia.
Yeah.
All your sepia photos.
Sepia.
And now they're all going to be integrated against your will because you didn't sign on for this. Into Facebook, and they're going to do their face matching, and you're like, oh man.
So as you know, as the one who always tells you that you're doing it wrong, here is your guide to dealing with Facebook buying Instagram. Okay. Okay.
Listen
Step
up.
1. All right. Step 1. Calm down. All right. I know you're crying. I know you've tried to call your mom at least 6 times, and she's not picking up anymore because she's sick of it.
7.
7.
She doesn't even know what Instagram is.
That's rough. So just calm down.
She does now,
Step 2.
Facebook.
If you care about what happens to your photos, if like Facebook might pull the plug on Instagram, as we've seen with some startups before, you want to go to instaport.me, which is a service that will let you pull all of your photos from Instagram and stick them in a zip file so you can keep them and not worry about Instagram disappearing and all of your photos disappearing with it.
There you go. Okay? Now you can keep all those photos that are of questionable quality.
Step 3. So you're thinking about, well, I could shut down my Instagram account because it's terrible, or I could continue using Instagram. Well, here's the pro tip. Nothing's actually happened yet. No, the deal hasn't actually gone through yet. It is pending approval. So there's part of your problem. The other part of your problem is we don't know if this is just sort of they will operate independently under the umbrella of Instagram, or if Instagram will be rolled into Facebook.
Actually, Mark Zuckerberg already announced that it would operate as its own entity,
which could change any minute.
We're right, but as of the deal going through,
right. The idea is that they will operate as an individual entity, but what you should do as an adult, because really you shouldn't be using the internet if you're not an adult,
and read the terms of service.
And whenever whenever Instagram or Facebook changes those terms of service, you need to read them again, or find somebody smart to have them figure it out and tell you what it actually means. Because I will tell you that in the past, Facebook has had terms of service that say any photo that you post to Facebook is now property of Facebook to do with as they please. This has sort of changed, and it's not so much the truth anymore. But it's something you need to be aware of. So, to sum up, protect your photos, be an adult, read the terms of service, and then just go ahead and apply this to your whole internet existence so I don't have to yell at you again. Jeez.
You're angry every week.
Idiots.
There's so many reasons to, you know.
Just trying to make life better for you.
Oh, wait, hold on. Can we revisit a story from last week?
Are we done with Instagram?
I would say after Rob's rant, we're pretty much
Most
done.
likely, yes.
We're pretty much done with...
I think we're done. But yeah, Instaport.me. Seriously, download your photos. They might disappear.
But to revisit a story from last week, OMG Pop was bought by Zynga.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay? And what the part we covered last week was the fact that the CEO of OMG Pop blasted one of the programmers because he left to go do his own thing, and everyone was up in arms about it because he was a-hole, and everybody was angry because he spoke his mind on Twitter and then took it back like everyone else does.
Because nobody ever does that.
Yeah. I would just like to point out the fact, and this is recently released news, that, maybe the guy lost his temper a little bit, but he was kind enough to rehire all of the people the company laid off prior to Zynga buying them.
What?
So they were in bad shape.
Yeah.
Like they were seriously about to go bankrupt and close.
Yeah.
Well, they laid people off, as companies do.
Was this pre-draw something or post-draw something?
This was
Are you sure this wasn't? Because I know as part of the acquisition, what they do is they terminate everybody's contracts and then hire them back under new contracts under Zynga.
right.
Yeah. That's a business deal.
That's just like the same thing might be happening with Instagram right now.
No. What happened was the CEO laid people off because they couldn't afford to pay them.
Oh, so he went back and rehired those people.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you may call him an a-hole because he said some things on Twitter, which everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
But deep down, he rehired a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like we said last week, like this is obviously a personal gripe that shouldn't have been made public, and realistically, it should have no effect on whether or not you use the app.
Right. I just wanted to point this out in his defense.
Okay.
Because, I mean, really, who hasn't let a rant on Twitter go?
I know I have.
Exactly.
Sorry,
right.
carry on with the show.
Carry it on. All right, what else we got here, guys? LB, you had one that you sent to us mid last week. I'm trying to figure out where my
Yes, I did.
So tell us about this one.
I would love to. It's just as soon as I get the notes for it up.
Okay.
Can you fill for me?
I will fill for you. The title, this one's about, and actually, Chachi, you saw a little bit of this earlier on SourceFed.
Right.
About nanostars kill cancer without ever penetrating a cell.
So these nanobots, they go in.
Nanostars.
Yeah, they're bots. All right, let's break that down. They're putting robots inside of you. All right, robots are going in you. Robots are going in you, and these robots have the intelligence enough programmed into them to point out certain shaped cells. Mm-hmm. Now, these cells contain cancer. And these robots go in. I like the word robots because they're little robots. But these robots go in, and they identify these certain shaped cells that are infected with cancer, and it blasts the cancer out of these cells. Like, it eradicates them all. Therefore, curing cancer. And it's to the point where they've started human testing on this.
Nice.
Not wide scale, but the only thing they found so far is minor irritation. So you got a lot of semi-angry people running around the office.
Also, mindless mechanical slavery and constant regeneration of cells.
Right.
And the Justice League.
The Justice League.
They have to come in. Yeah.
Excellent. So
That pretty much covers it. And it's covered just as I brought up the credits or the notes. So,
Sorry.
good stuff. It's all right. No, it's all right. That's true. That covers it. I think it's but I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
As they put it, our drug-loaded gold nanostars are tiny hitchhikers. They are attracted to a protein on the cancer's cell surface that conveniently shuttles the nanostars to the cell's nucleus. Then, when the nucleus is doorstopped, the nanostars release the drug, which continues into the nucleus to do its work. So they are absolutely destroying them from the inside out.
But Sonic is asking if the robots become self-aware with lasers.
God, I hope not.
They absolutely do. It's like having a million tiny little datas in your bloodstream.
But on top of that, they said that if the trials continue to go as well as they're going, they're looking at large-scale human testing, which I'm not quite sure what they consider large-scale, or what they consider small-scale, honestly. But they're looking for a public release in hospitals by 2020. So this is actually rather close.
I can only speculate as to how expensive it'll be.
That's okay. It'll all be subsidized by free healthcare or something. You know.
No, all of the little robots will have Microsoft advertisements on them.
Oh, there you go.
Or
There you go.
or little
Oh no! I thought
or
it was
little-
going to cure cancer, but now all I see is a blue screen.
or little Apple logos, depending on who's willing to pay more.
Awesome.
This cancer cure is brought to you by Apple. iOS 22.
Speaking of things that could get in your way, have you guys seen this the Google Glass stuff? I know I didn't put it in the notes, but
Yep.
so Rob, you've been following this? This seems right up your alley. Oh, you all right there?
I've got a thing in my throat.
He
Yeah,
probably
me too.
already has
Me
them.
too.
You need some nanobots.
I'm wearing my Google goggles right now. No, actually, I was pretty up to date on the Google goggles. So, for anybody out of date on the Google goggles, the thing, I'm sure plenty of movies, sci-fi movies and stuff have had this sort of element to it. It's basically the idea of you wear a set of goggles or some sort of heads-up device that gives you a heads-up display that interacts with the world around you. So there's a video, for instance, that sort of demos the idea, the concept of Google goggles, where the guy's walking around and he's he's like brushing his teeth or something, and then a little reminder pops up, but in his glasses. Like, he just woke up, puts on his glasses, and this little thing pops up in the top right that says, hey, there's a thing you have to go to. And then he can just speak commands to it and say, remind me to buy tickets for this concert, because he sees a thing. Or he wants to take a picture of something he sees, and he says, take a picture of this. And then he somehow frames the photo using, like, moving his head, and then snaps a photo. He accepts a phone call, and there's also, obviously because there's a camera in it, he can see whoever's making the phone call, if they're using, say, like an eyesight camera or something, and whoever is receiving his phone call can see what he sees if he wants it to happen like that. So this whole, like, integrated life system type thing, basically an iPhone or an Android device or something, built into a set of glasses. So this is all really cool. Except for it's one of those technologies that, like, this is great, except none of the things that it needs to work that good exist yet. Like, we're just, so, voice recognition to start with. We all know how long we've been fumbling with voice recognition, and just this year, we're seeing, like, sure, Dragon Dictate has been around for a while, But as far as seeing mass implementation of voice dictation and recognition commands in a mobile device, happened a few months ago. And this is a tech, like the Google Glasses thing is based fully on the idea that you're going to say, hey, take a picture of this. And your Google Glasses aren't going to say, all I can think of is expletives, so I'm not going to say that. So there's that. There's also, my favorite part of it, of the video, if you watch the video, which we should put in the show notes or something.
It's actually, most of it's on a Google Glass Google Plus page.
Okay,
So.
yeah. At part of the video, so he's going to meet his friend at this food truck, and his friend's like, hey, come on. So he's standing at the food truck, and he says, hey, wait a minute. You see him look away for a second and check in. So let me pull a Tim Allen here and back the truck up a second. So we have this fully integrated set of goggles, right? Knows where you are at all times, right? Knows what time it is, knows your appointments. It's basically a phone in your pocket. You're going to stop what you're doing to check in, but I thought the point of Google Goggles was that you didn't have to stop what you're doing to do
that
things.
was completely integrated. Yeah.
That it was completely integrated. It should be more like, a little thing like there's so many usability and built-in problems with this that are very silly that demonstrate the fact that this is not something you're going to get this year or next year, probably even the year after that. This is like a 5-year out kind of technology, and even like as far as prototyping goes, this is a concept and not an actual thing that exists.
Mm-hmm. And I'm loving the parodies are popping up so far. People just running into stuff. And there's this one. Let's see if I can pull it back up here. Here it is. Here, we'll pull this up. Like, he's walking along. And I think he runs into the pole and stuff. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, you got ads pop up, and you run into people. Let's see. Please request access. Access your data. Yeah. I mean that's kind of because you gotta look at it like why do you have a Google phone? Because they're going to put ads on it, right? And and that's how they're going to subsidize this probably. But man, you remember when like Windows Phone was their big advertisement was you weren't looking down at the phone?
Yeah.
Like, isn't this a bigger problem?
This is looking at your phone all the time. Yeah, it's a parfait, if you will, of horrible, repetitive problems, which is just. Like, the idea is something that it has a lot of potential, but basically what Google has done here, not to their discredit, I mean, it's cool, and it's certainly something that I want somebody to be working on, but they've taken all of the stupid stuff that we've seen in sci-fi, and they've made it. Like, they didn't change it. They just took that thing and said, oh, now it's a thing.
It was it was in a movie. They didn't adjust for real life. Yeah,
right. Which is why we always for me when we do interactive touchscreen devices, the thing that we're always looking for is the Minority Report device. The problem with the Minority Report device is that you have to wear a glove, which is why we never ask everybody to wear a glove because it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Like it creates an awkward experience. So,
LB, what do you? Oh, go ahead.
How long until Wesley Crusher and Ashley Judd have to save everyone from their Google goggles? And while I'm making jokes from the 90s, does it list everybody's power level? Is it over 9?
Totally should. Well, what it could do for athletes, here's a good example. You could have like your heart rate and all of your vitals in your glasses to help you train better.
There you go.
Yeah. See? Like, there's certainly applications for it. That's probably the easiest thing
that confuses me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. You're kind of wrapped up at the same time.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
something else that I wonder about is, like, what kind of technology is going to be in there to adjust for, what you focus on? I mean, obviously it's not going to be right on the glass in front of your face. You know what I mean? Like, if you wear glasses, try and focus on the frame without getting a headache. It's not the easiest thing in the world.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, even just if you're familiar with the way that a camera focuses, and you try and adapt that focus to the objects around you, so you look at, say you're holding a pencil in front of your face, and you try and do a zoom in, zoom out, and you try and focus on the pencil, and then on the thing behind it, and then come back to the pencil. slowly your eyes will start to feel numb and like they're on fire because they're not really built to do that in such a controlled way. But what would make a lot of sense with this, something we mentioned probably like 50 episodes ago, I know at least there's a TED Talk, and this is also a really readily available technology at this point. There are cerebral monitoring devices that are no longer incredibly complicated. You're no longer shaving your head. You're not putting patches on your skull and stuff, and they allow you to do things like control a three-dimensional space using just your mind. Picks up on brain waves, takes a baseline of what your brain is doing when it's not trying to focus on a certain thing, and then adapts itself so you can imagine something and use that imagination to control the interface in front of you. So a combination of Google goggles, which is basically probably an Android phone, on your glasses, and that thing makes a lot of sense. But they don't quite exist in that form yet, and they won't for a long time.
What I want to know is if I can get these in prescription.
Ooh, yeah. Is this another thing I have to put on top? Like why 3D glasses don't work?
The other direction you could take this in is, so right now all the hipsters wear non-prescription glasses to look cool. Right? This is going to make that worse.
But my glasses are hipster-ish.
But functional.
But functional. I need them. I'm a hipster of hipsters. Because I did this before it was cool. I need my glasses.
Well, luckily, like from the models they're showing, it looks like it could potentially go above your glasses, but still, it'd be awkward. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a little bar, could be a band, could be like a full Geordie LaForge unit. You know.
Oh, we could all be Geordie. There you go.
I would rock a Geordie LaForge hairband, absolutely.
Hairband.
Banana clip.
Excellent.
Banana clip, yeah.
Excellent. Hey, LB, this is one I think is probably a bit up your alley. I was reading this article over on panelsonpages.com, where I usually get my pop culture and comic book news, see what's going on over there. So they just did this, for those who don't know, they just did the Avengers vs. X-Men, like #1 just came out, like, I don't know, this week, last week, something like that. But they're doing a lot of interesting digital things with this. This article goes into, first there was the augmented reality apps that you can get with your phone, and it's, you know, you have that little spot on, or however they do it in the comic book, and, you know, on your phone, like Iron Man pops out in 3D, you know. Like, you know, they did, there was a video going around where they demoed this at a recent con. I'll see if I can pull that up real quick. But there's also they're starting a new line called Infinity Comics here, which are apparently developed for the, you know, viewing on iPhones, iPads, etc. Now, like, to the point where usually when you were going through something like with Comixology, you were going, like, it would reveal panel to panel. This one, as demonstrated in this picture, if you're on video, you can see this. You see the panel and the words popped up, and, you know, and you see the, you know, looks like the Phoenix, the giant firebird in the background is, you know, kind of obfuscated, so you're focused on the guy in the front. The next frame, it actually focuses on the guy behind him. So it's more of a perspective thing going on here, that they're developing for this format, as opposed to like the page, the standard page first, and then trying to adapt that for a digital device. So it seems more. It's not like motion comic.
That's good. So, motion comics are pretty awful.
Everybody's pretty much sold on motion comics being the worst experiment ever as far as the comic book industry goes. And these guys were so big on it a couple years ago when I saw a Marvel panel. They're like, motion comics is where we're going to go to keep up with things. It's like, man, you wasted a lot of money on that.
Yep.
What do you think about this, LB? You think this is something that will get people more into the digital side of things?
I think it's definitely interesting, and if comic books, if classic books are any indication of comic books, then they absolutely will. More people are reading books on Kindle than ever before. Speak of the devil, I just finished the first Hunger Games book on my Kindle, my 3G Kindle here, and I'm like halfway into the second one. But I don't know. I think it's a slightly different audience, the comic book audience, and people who collect comics are, I think, a little more fierce and protective about their collections than I don't want to speak for all of them, but a lot of people who read books, you know what I mean? They don't mind having a few hundred books on their Kindle, whereas, you know, comic book guys are obsessed with their long boxes, and it has to be in the right temperature, and it has to have boards and everything. And that's what they love. They love that just as much as they love the comics themselves. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's possible. I absolutely love reading comics on my iPhone and down the line on a tablet whenever I decide to spend the money on it. Personally, like having a little augmented reality thing. Oh, Iron Man popped out of the comic. That's great. That's not going to appeal to me personally. It might appeal to a younger reader, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to make the big difference that they're hoping.
But it is like adding to, because I think already they've announced most of the $4 comics on Marvel are going to include digital copies, codes for digital copies that you can pick up over on Comixology.
Now
that's cool.
That is smart, because then you have your hardcore collectors. They buy 2 copies most of the time. They buy 1 copy to read and 1 copy to put in a bag, and sometimes they don't even buy the copy to read. This will circumvent that completely. They have their copy that goes right in the bag with the board, never touch it again, and they have the digital copy which they can enjoy. That is smart.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see, because I know we've seen a lot of digital comics even at the Pittsburgh Comic Con, which will Sorgatron Media will be there in another week and a half. April, I think it's 20th through 22nd. So hey, go check us out there, and we'll be taking a look and see what's going on. And see if that's gone down to like that level at least, you know. Because I know
now this is all Marvel doing it, right?
This is Marvel, yes. I haven't seen DC do anything to this extent. I know DC's recent push has been when they relaunched everything about November with the New 52. Everything is day and date.
I think of the New 52. Like I'm not interested.
Well, other than the New 52, but they released everything day and date on digital. So that was the first step, like because there was always a delay between the physical copy and getting it digitally. And if you're just waiting for the digital, you had to wait, and you're kind of second-class citizen. But like when like they revamped and did Superman #1, Batman #1, everything's been same day that it reaches the stores. So, and
I think it's really interesting, because it's the first time that whenever Marvel does something, DC does something similar, and vice versa. You know, the Marvel killed Captain America, so DC killed Batman. You know what I mean? Yeah. They always have these story arcs that seem to parallel each other. But this is the first time when a large story arc happens, and like Marvel didn't take the bait. DC rebooted all their major stories, and wiped out their universe in a really more concrete way than they have in the past. And Marvel was like, not interested. We're going to keep making money with the new X-Men and Avengers and our movies.
But you see them diverging on different paths too, as far as the digital side. And it's interesting to see which one's going to win in the long run. Because I know the addition of the digital comics to buying the physical copy was a test run they did with, I think, Avenging Spider-Man was the title, like a new #1 that they did. But apparently it did well, that they're doing it with pretty much across the board, I guess. So, but we'll see how that turns out. It's really interesting to see what comic books are doing to try to adapt compared to everybody else. So they're still, I think comic books still have the training wheels on, but man, it opens up so much if I can just get it on my iPad, And I think there's a lot of people that feel the same. And you mentioned the collectors and the board and box guys. The long box guys, I think that's a dying breed. I really think that is. The hardcore are always going to be coming out to the comic conventions and everything, but that market crashed for the most part. Unless you got something from about 30, 40 years ago, it's not worth anything. And I don't think there's as many people that do that. So, but let's see what else is going on here. This was interesting. I actually have relatives that work for this company. Procter & Gamble bans Netflix and Pandora at work, according to Hacking Netflix, citing bandwidth concerns for this. And Pandora kind of surprises me, because that's got to be kind of low bandwidth in comparison, right?
Nope.
Do you have this policy at your company, Chach?
Kind of. certain employees have access to Netflix.
On the whole, what is the policy?
Pandora is blocked, Netflix is not.
Really?
Yeah, not many people realize that Netflix isn't blocked
Okay.
because YouTube is blocked, so they just assume that it's blocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not many people try to.
So that's why it
go
hasn't been blocked yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No one realizes that it's not actively.
But really,
blocked.
Pandora though that's really a bandwidth concern.
Yep.
Wow, that's I guess if you do
streaming media of all types,
because it's still more
That's true.
consistent slamming on your servers,
right.
And you have a big firm,
Right.
So
yeah, it's all blocked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess it's the first. I don't know why. Then why is Procter and Gamble probably like the biggest company that's done this, that has made news like this?
I guess.
I mean this because those.
Or
guys
maybe
make
they're the
everything.
Maybe they're the only ones that released the fact that they blocked this stuff.
Maybe.
Everyone else is like, no one cares.
That's why it's
You know why you're talking about this right now?
Why is that?
Because first off, it's Mashable, and second of all, it's a slow news week.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, figured it out.
There you go. Oh, that's why it's also nice to work at like a smaller company too, where that's not an issue.
Yeah, I mean this is the kind of stuff that like I'm surprised that most large companies don't block something like this, or whatever. They have a Barracuda system or something that monitors and blocks. I mean, even at my little studio, we have software that keeps an eye on what certain people are looking at, so we know like, oh, hey, that's cool. You didn't actually do any work last week. Bet you thought we didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. That's kind of surprising for a smaller company. Yeah. So, oh well. So I don't know if you guys have heard, Google's going to be doing their own tablet. Like I'm guessing, like the Nexus phones. They're partnering.
Whatever. I'm doing my own tablet. Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing.
There's going to be Sorgatron Media tablet in a year.
Hey, you can outsource it all. That could I can put Android on a Tamagotchi from the 90s or something, and there you go. I got my tablet, right? I mean,
I'd buy that. Yeah.
There you go. Well, the news is the first Google tablet, first Google branded tablet, is now expected in July due to a price cutting effort. I guess they're aiming for about a $250 price tag on this. Which is in line with what we've been seeing with Kindle, and I guess everybody else has been dropping down to it. So what do you think of this? Google hands on with the tablet production. Do you think that's going to make any difference, Rob?
No, it's going to suck and do the exact same thing that the Google TV did, which is flop on its face.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was another one where they were kind of working with hardware partners, though, right?
We've learned time and time again that Google is incapable of making hardware devices, or leading, or branding, or doing anything with hardware.
That's true. So, yeah, it's just another attempt. But
I mean, I hope they prove me wrong. I desperately hope they prove me wrong. But the tides are against them.
At this rate, it sounds like Windows is kind of impression-wise, it seems like Windows might catch up at this point.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I played with the Windows mobile thingy on a tablet thingy at South by Southwest, and I mean, honestly, it was pretty good.
Yeah. And I know AJ's been he had a Windows phone for a week, and decided to return it because of the cracked screen and shipping. But I wanted to get some impressions from him for the show. But talking with him last night, he's really impressed with how slick it is, I think. So, I mean, he had the tweet earlier this weekend that was iOS is greater than Windows Phone is greater than Android. So, usability, it's got to be.
Well, there was a thing that I saw, may have been last week of the year or the week before. Some large statistics company, statistics. But one of the large firms, so they had a list of the chart showing market share of mobile operating systems. Windows Mobile is in the other category. Other. As in, like, it's not actually specified. It says, like, Android. And then, iOS is after Android because Android has a larger market share.
Yeah.
Then it had BlackBerry as a little tiny, minuscule sliver. And then beyond that, an even smaller sliver was other, which included Windows Mobile.
Well, to be fair, it's new, but...
I don't know. Well, I mean, Windows Mobile has been around for longer than iOS and Android combined.
Yes, but what you mean? Windows Mobile went BlackBerry before BlackBerry did. Where everybody just abandoned it because it was pure crap.
Uh-huh.
By the way, I did get an email this week that Windows Phone 6.5 Marketplace has been discontinued. As a side note, because Missy had what was it? The AT&T 8525. We got our hands on an AT&T Tilt a couple years ago that we set up to my mother-in-law before we got her an iPhone and saved her from that. So yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, and in the same token, in the last week, I have no source for this, but I'm sure you can find it. The BlackBerry released an announcement and said they're going to stop trying to sell to consumers.
What?
Yeah. Well, they've been making
What?
this awkward run at the iPhone Android market.
Yeah.
That has failed miserably and cost them essentially the company as we know it. Like, they've been making so little money in such a stupid way that they're going to roll completely back to be nothing but a corporate division.
It makes sense, go back to what you're good at, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there needs to be, a phone for the Pentagon where they can lock it down if they want to.
Yeah,
But this is not a phone that the consumer wants.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing they're losing out to are programs like what Chachi's in, where he can pick his own phone.
Right.
Which we've talked about before on here is happening more and more often. So, speaking of phones, this is an interesting one, and I thought.
Wait, time out.
Oh, wait, what's going on,
Whoa.
Josh?
We have to go back. I was
Okay.
waiting for you guys to stop talking, and it didn't happen. We have to backtrack to AJ.
Okay.
That far back.
Okay.
I've been waiting for a break. But
You mean when he said hi?
No, not that far back.
Do you have a follow up to the high?
No. Listen, I respect AJ's opinion.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Okay? But when comparing Android Special, okay?
Like helmet special?
Yes.
Or
No, I'm not kidding. Android is helmet special.
okay. It's okay.
You have to find the right one, or you're just going to assume that it's all crap.
Yeah.
There's so many varieties of hardware and software that chances are you're going to go out and you're going to pick up a phone and it's going to be a crappy phone.
Yeah.
It's kind of like shopping for a PC.
I love my Android phone.
You have the G2 T-Mobile.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But I've held other Android phones.
Mm-hmm.
They're horrible.
And there's a lot of low market ones.
Yeah.
Like the Cricket ones, the cheap phones for
Exactly.
you get for like $25 on AT&T.
So you can't.
And everybody has a different layer on top of it too.
Yes.
What Sense I think is one that Motorola does, or I don't even know.
So with all due respect to his opinion, you can't say that iOS is greater than Windows Phone is greater than Android.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you picked a bad example.
Okay.
It depends on and they're also, it's an apple oranges scenario, like you're saying, because when you, it's all like completely different atmospheres, which is why it's really hard to compare the iPad to the other tablets, because you're not actually judging the tablet, you're judging a piece of hardware combined with a piece of software developed by two different companies.
Right.
When you talk about the iPad, you're talking about iOS on the iPad, and you're talking about the hardware device that we know as the iPad, which is very important to understand. When you talk about Android, it's a whole different business, and even when you talk about Windows Phone, it's a different business from these two as well. Does Microsoft make any hardware anymore? For like phones and stuff, or they no?
No, did they?
They make keyboards and mouses.
Yeah, did they ever make a
That's
phone?
I don't think they ever did. It was always like HTC. But it'd be like, before HTC was known, it would be branded like the Verizon such and such or the AT&T Tilt, for instance.
Sure.
So that's the closest thing I could think of it. But I don't think it ever was. Now I wonder about the older Windows CE devices. Maybe.
But yeah, I mean, like Chachi's saying, like it just doesn't make sense to make that comparison. I mean, I have a feeling that AJ wasn't necessarily getting this nerdy when he was making the greater than statement.
Oh no!
But
it's
a lot like when you try and make the PC versus Mac. Like, the crux of the argument is like completely flawed because one is an entirely closed ecosystem where Apple makes the hardware, Apple makes the software, and then they make all the cool stuff that goes with it. And in Windows, it's literally you're going to walk into Best Buy and you're going to get a piece of hardware that's developed by one company that contains electronics from 15 different other companies, and then slap on a piece of software made by a totally different company. You're going to have a varied experience from each device you go to in that category, whereas when you go to Apple, you're going to get a consistent experience no matter what device you pick up.
A related note, this has been an interesting story. The Nokia Lumia 900 came out over the weekend, which this was the big, they partnered with AT&T, they put all kinds of money into advertising this thing, I guess. And the big joke of it has been, they released the thing on Sunday. Easter Sunday. Apparently, some magazines or sites or blogs or whatever in New York City went around and tried to find some place to buy one. And every message for an AT&T store says, "Sorry, we're closed. Would you like to buy an iPhone for us?" So that's been the big thing. But apparently, people like the phone. It's a $100 Windows phone, which puts it in a better market than, like, say, an iPhone 4S. But I guess it's been going over pretty well, except for some connection problems, which I guess they're looking into right now. So this is our first look at Nokia, the big Nokia Microsoft, handshake deal over Windows Phone. Is this going to do it for them? Not with plays like that.
Nokia has been kind of out of the game for a while.
Yeah. Last week they had what was that 24 megapixel camera that's still or phone camera, whatever that.
The one that was more a camera than a phone by a long shot.
Still runs Symbian.
Yeah,
which
Symbian.
Is pretty much a dead operating system at this point, I believe. So I don't know. Basically nobody else can do a release that actually gets attention except for Apple at this point. Good luck, you're another phone. Here's a new Windows Phone. Great, there's 10 other ones I could choose from on the same carrier.
Yeah, it's a signal to noise ratio. When Apple comes out with a phone, because of that closed atmosphere thing, like, it gets a lot of stir and a lot of draw just because they have a consistent track record of making something cool. Yeah. Which is why, like, when Google says, we're going to come out with a tablet, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Let's talk about lunch instead, because I'll probably be a lot more satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... There's no reason. And really, who's going to get excited about Nokia other than tech journalists that are like gadget hounds and following stuff like this and know how much this means between the Microsoft Nokia thing? How many people are going to get excited from Nokia unless they remember their candy bar phone from about 8 years ago that they had? Like, I know my dad had a track phone that was a Nokia.
Yeah,
we all had them. We all had the same ringtone.
Know that a Lumia exists, and kids in high school aren't going to care either, which means you just lost most of your market. Maybe
it'll win for being a throwback because it's Nokia.
Huh?
No, that would only work if they marketed it that way.
You never know.
And they won't because it's Nokia.
Yeah, no.
Apple. I mean, I don't want to take away. Apple does have. Damn fine products, but they also have the best marketing out of any of the other phone companies out there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's all Apple and a close second for Google, and that's why they're a close second in the phone race.
Definitely.
Their advertising is strong.
Lastly, a report came out that says that Americans are top at using tablets and smartphones while watching TV. How many things with screens are in front of you when you're watching TV, guys?
Well, I don't watch TV. I watch Netflix with my cell phone at my side. So, 2.
While you're at your computer?
Well, I watch Netflix on my computer because I don't have a TV. So it's either like I'm watching Netflix on my computer or I'm watching Netflix on my iPad. And if I'm on my iPad, I'm not on my computer.
Well, there you go. What about you, Will?
I'm usually watching Netflix on my laptop while I'm playing a game on my television on my Xbox 360, and I am never far away from my phone.
There you go, Chach.
I usually just have my phone.
So, and you're twittering, you're doing all kinds of stuff. I read this article as I sat there with TV on my laptop, my iPad beside me, and my phone up watching for Twitter.
But we're also, we're a terrible example.
Right? Yeah, because, I mean, when I work, seriously, when I'm working, I'm on my laptop, There might have something on Netflix for noise on my iPad sitting up by my MacBook. If my MacBook is running something like Final Cut or something that's like, hogging a lot of resources on here because it's a 2-year-old MacBook, I got my phone up so I can keep checking my email through the day.
Yeah, let's not talk about me at work.
Considering how many screens you have access to over there, I cannot even imagine.
I
put an application, I put a web page on each screen just because I can, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I could put a tab on each monitor if I wanted to. We didn't bring all of the monitors back to the studio; they're in a warehouse, and I'm so disappointed because I wanted to put 4 55-inch monitors on my desk instead of just one.
Excellent. So let us know, guys out there. What do you I think this is everybody. If you have a smartphone, it's in front of you, and you're
at the very least
doing
it's in your
whatever.
pocket.
I mean, it's come down to kind of the Google thing. Who is that guy? Do we know him from somewhere? Well, let's see. IMDb gets popped up. I hardly ever watch TV and just watch TV anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which isn't that better because you're a little more stimulated. Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, there's the question of
that with
overstimulation,
movies
but at the
because
same
my
time, the example you give of I have a question about this show and I'm going to find out about it. It used to be, it might just be a taste thing, what you feel like, whether you feel like just sort of unplugging and consuming content, or if you want to be nerdy about it and be like, oh, that guy looks familiar. He was in this other thing. And then you spend 10 minutes on IMDb, learning more about this actor's career. And, for the argument of well, that's a waste of time. Well, maybe not, because I find out he's in this other movie and I want to watch. So now I go watch that movie. And I was essentially marketed to watch another movie by seeing something on TV, looking it up on my phone, and finding it on Netflix.
There you go. Well, it's even if I watch, I just watched the first episode of Game of Thrones. I'm trying to get into that, see what it's all about, since I've heard so much about it. And the first thing that happens when I get into a series like that on there or on Netflix or something like that is I bring up the Wikipedia page. Well, how long is this show? How many seasons do I have to expect to watch? Or is there new ones going on? Or something weird came up on Hulu. Where the heck did this show come from? And it turns out it's a Canadian show that I never heard of. And Endgame, really good. And there's only 9 episodes on it, and they might be coming back because they've been doing so good on Hulu, which is really cool. But yeah, I think it's at least for our generation, I think that's kind of just opened up for a lot of people. Which, like I said, you're not just sitting there like a bump on a log, watching TV. Your brain's not shutting down. You're maybe fractured a little bit, and there's more noise. But I can't help to think that's better for you this way.
Yeah. At the same time, if I'm in a movie theater and you pull out your phone that's set to full brightness to look something up, I will get up and punch you in the face.
Yeah, you don't pay $10 a ticket to be doing 3 things at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's definitely
when I and it's totally an experience thing. When I'm on my couch and I see a thing, I'll look it up. But when I'm in a movie theater, I paid to be there for that experience and to unplug from the other things.
Exactly. Well, Rob, you're disappearing into the darkness. So that must mean it's time to wrap up the show. Do you have no lights in your house?
There's, I realized 20 minutes ago, and I totally forgot that. Here, let me open a white window to help you out here. That there we go. That it's probably really dark because I'm looking at my laptop in this nice backlit LED world, and it's pretty dark out. It's getting there. Well, it is 8:05, so.
Well, Rob Dave Creta, you're at robjdlc.com.
And also at inserttobegin.com.
Hold on, I'm checking that. Did you forward that already? Loose change at inserttobegin.com?
Yeah, that's just, yeah.
All right.
I could have made it much more obscene, but I figure...
For the kids that might
For the
be
kids, in case I come up with something better to do with it. For the time being, I've got this email address. So you can email me at loosechange at inserttobegin.com.
Shachi's at insertcointobegin.com.
You're an a-hole, Rob. You're an a-hole.
Yes. And that's all he has to say. Will Rutherford, DJ Lunchbox, MonsterHaiku.org, ThoughtfulRiot.com. all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Yes, that's a big one.
I understand you've been reading to kids.
No,
What?
no, that's maybe down the line.
I see.
We're in talks to do a classroom reading where we'll go in and we'll read the book to kids, and then Rachel will teach them how to draw monsters, and I will teach them how to write haiku.
Nice. I knew I heard something was coming up, so excellent.
Yeah, that's down the line though.
Excellent, and of course,
Nothing set in stone. And thank you for having me on the show to pimp the book. Remember, folks, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, swing by Wild Card in Lawrenceville, April 13th, and pick up your copy of Monster Haiku today.
while you still can.
Yeah. That's like it's like 44th and Butler, isn't it?
That sounds right. Sure. I totally wrote down the address for the show, but whatever.
And I'm Mike Sorg. I'm at sorgatron.com for my bloggy blog. Check out everything else going on at sorgatronmedia.com. There's a new episode of Unsung coming up, where Chachi gets to hang out with Margaret Lemieux, that statue. And a bunch of... Actually, there's a clip from Wrestling Mayhem Show on this week. Nice co-opting right there. So go check that out. And, of course, we're over at AwesomeCast.com for all your past episodes and this episode in video and audio forms. Your MP3s, your whatevers. We're also on iTunes, Blip TV, YouTube. Subscribe to us, like us, star us. Leave comments. Leave, comments and reviews and stuff. That always helps out. Let other people know that real people do listen to the show. Because I know you're out there. Even though AJ is the only one that emails us, and there's a few of you in the chat room, I know there's more people out there. Because I run into you randomly at coffee clubs and stuff. That's not what I expect, but you're out there. So please let us know. There's music. The music's playing us out, apparently. Contact at awesomecast.com, Twitter at awesomecast. We're on Google+, we're on Facebook, so go follow, like, or whatever that function is. And tell us how much you hate Instagram, because apparently that's the end thing right now. That's it, guys. I'm Sorg, and thank you, our awesome chat room that loves your blackberries. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week.
We're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, we're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, we're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I
porn behind us in the show. I just blur out that block for the entire show.
Mm-hmm. Pornography.
Who likes porn?
Pornography.
Yeah.
It's fun for you and me.
This is a very musical intro we're having here.
Oh, you know.
Oh, yeah, no. Sometimes you just got to get your jam on. Oh, hey, there's a big thing that's not in the doc. How about that Instagram business? All right. Oh, wow. Stats is what that is, not start. Hang on. We'll hit play. That's a good button to press. We'll select the level. So here's your instructions. This is your life. You die when it reaches 0.
This is a good demo. This is a really
Tap
good
on
demo.
the enemy to fire.
I can see your eyesight light.
Tap on the magazine to reload
Yeah.
when it shows 0 or before. So like real pro tip type thing. So then you try and play, which like doesn't work. All right, so I like ran out and then I'll reload, and it says LOL thanks for reloading. It's really terrible. And then you die, and that's
Game over. You mad?
Yeah, that's the whole game. That's it. That's all it does. I don't think there's any more levels.
Did you pay for that?
No, it's free.
That's good.
It's totally free. But they do try to like. There's like a thing that comes up says, "Hey, donate for in-app purchase so we can make another app."
Wow.
Yeah.
Seriously, meme faces are the worst thing that's happened to the internet
I don't
since
know about
fucking AOL discs.
All right.
Get angry.
There's there's a worse game than that, and it's not for iOS. I posted it on insertcointobegin.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flash game called Oh Shit. All it is a Flash version of the entire R. Kelly's Trapped in a Closet. And every time he says, "Oh shit," you have to click on his face. I am not kidding.
So the App Store has become Newgrounds.
This isn't the App Store.
Oh wait, this
is a Flash game.
Oh, this is a straight Flash
Yeah.
game. Oh.
Oh, so it's really just back to Newgrounds.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is Newgrounds. Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. All right.
I played it for 5 minutes. And then I realized that I was actively listening to Trapped in the Closet.
And that's where you found out the trick was.
Yes. And I'm like, oh shit.
They got it.
And they clicked on your face.
But the funny thing is, it's so poorly done that if you lose, it says, oh shit, you lost, and you have to refresh the entire webpage to start over.
Oh.
Wow, that's a well-designed game.
Yes.
Maybe the person behind that will start making, like, virtual reality goggles or something.
Nice.
Maybe they can get hired by Google.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. What was it? Larry Page like had the Google glasses like at a party or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Not that that's important or anything,
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee they didn't fucking work, so.
but yeah. Okay.
All right.
Good show, guys. Good show, guys.
Yeah, pretty good. What show number is this?
97.
97. Fuck. What is the date for number 100?
Well, if this is 97,
6 weeks from now. No.
what?
3 weeks.
3 weeks from now?
3 weeks from
7,
8,
98,
9. Let's
99.
try May 1st.
May 1st. Huh.
This week is 98. The
What?
week after will be 99, and the week after that's 100.
Yeah,
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, May 1st.
May 1st.
I wonder if there's anything at all we can do for that.
I don't know. I would love to do a live show somewhere, but Chachi says no. Thanks, Chach.
We can do a show from Chachi's living room.
We could do a show from Chachi's living room.
Nope.
No?
Yeah. Well, I would have to. I might have my car back by then.
There you go. There you go. Oh, just got the couch. There we go. That's me. All right, I'm going to get the wrestling guys in. Thanks, Rob.
Yep. I'll see you next